After quite an eventful first full trading week of 2026, we're going into the second week, and I'm looking at 5 setups right now to primarily run the wheel strategy on that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And if you just drop a comment down below on today's video, I'm going to give you my brand new ebook, the RSI Playbook for option sellers. No strings attached whatsoever. Just drop a comment and I'll send that over to you. And while you're down there, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button and that subscribe button. But guys, let's get into today's video, and obviously go do your research on all these stocks. I am not a financial advisor, but the first one we got to get out of the way, I talk about it every week because I literally trade it every single week, is SoFi. SoFi didn't have too much of a crazy week for us, fairly for the most part flat here. And my strategy every single week, as some of you know, is I do a cover triangle on SoFi. So what does that mean specifically? So that means I usually do Friday expirations. I am doing a covered call and a cash secured put. And let's just quickly walk through that so you guys understand it, because I'm going to assume some of you maybe don't understand what the wheel strategy is. So I'll quickly show you at least what I like to do. Obviously, go do your own research on this stuff. But basically what I do is I sell a put and I go out about a week, all right? So let's just do the January, for example. Obviously, markets close that time you're recording this, and I'm going to sell a put. Basically, what I'm saying here is I'm willing to buy 100 shares of SoFi on January 16th if it drops to a price that I like. Now, what was that price going to be? You know, this totally depends on what your risk tolerance is, but I'm usually playing around the 20 to 30 deltas. So taking a look at the 26.5 here hits us right at that 30 delta, which is what I like. And taking a look at the premium here, we're collecting about $37 of premium. So let's go toss that into my cash secured put calculator, because I like to just at least capture premium on both sides of the trade here, as you're going to see here. And I'm collecting $37 of premium. I am locking up $2,600, right? Because why am I locking up $2,600 or $2,650? See, I'm $2,650 times 100, right? So let's put that our $50 right there, and we're capturing about a 1.4% return. Results vary, not financial advice. Go do your research. Just what I'm seeing at the time of me recording this video. And how am I capturing this, right? That is simply your premium divided by your collateral, and my expiration date, right, is 5 days, right? Actually, I'll just put 7 for the sake of this, since it is Sunday, right? So about over 1% in a single week on this trade. That is fantastic in my opinion. Obviously, a little bit more high risk here, right? If SoFi is a high flyer, high volatility stock, but for me at least, very high conviction stock, so I'm willing to be a little bit more aggressive with this thing, right? But the next thing is this. I like to sell a covered call, right? So what I'll do as well is I will sell a call for that same expiration, right? And selling a call requires you, at least by the Ark Options Strategy way, is to have at least 100 shares of a stock, right? We do everything cash secured and covered with shares. We are not degenerates on this channel. Welcome. But if we look at the current covered calls, right? Again, I'm going to go for around the 30 delta on both the cash secured put and the covered call side, and I like the 2850s. And let's just assume, for the sake of me showing this educational example, you own 100 shares of SoFi at current market value around $27. So our premium here that we're collecting is what, let's just say $35 of premium here, right? We're collecting $35 on premium. Our strike of the option is what we're willing to sell our shares for, $28.50 here, right? $28.50, right? And our purchase strike price, we'll say around current market value, is $27. So what is the benefit of doing a trade like this? Well, $28.50 is my covered call, right? $28.50, right? And then my cash secured put is $26.50. So what is my best case scenario right here? Well, let's say by next Friday, right, SoFi is below $28.50, so I don't have to sell my shares, right? But it is also above $26.50, right? So I don't have to buy more shares. And that is my kind of like threading the needle, just kind of diving right in. But here's the best part about this, at least for me, I don't care what happens. I genuinely don't care if I get assigned at $28.50 and sell my shares. I don't care if I get assigned and have to buy 100 shares of SoFi at $26.50. Very rarely do I come across a stock that I have so much high conviction in that I genuinely don't care about what side of the trade. If I get a sign called away, I'm very long term SoFi, and that is why I am going to continue most likely mentioning SoFi every single week, because it is my most actively traded stock and most likely going to be my most actively traded stock into 2026. And I'm just having such a fun time riding this volatility, guys. And again, the premiums obviously are very elevated. Go do your own research. I don't want anybody here getting hurt. Next stock, we got to talk about it, guys. We got to talk about Apple. Now, obviously a very expensive company that you would require a decent amount of collateral to be selling some puts on. But my goodness, when was the last time that we saw Apple below its bottom Bollinger Band at an RSI of 27? I mean, we can't even see it in the last 6 months, right? But still above 200 and 300-day moving averages, below, though, its 50-day moving averages, and we're dipped below the bottom Bollinger Band, right? So to me, this is a beautiful setup really forming on Apple. I want to see if we continue to get lower. Obviously, this wraps up a tremendous amount of capital for Apple. Obviously, it has had a huge run across all the tech stocks and AI stocks. But a play like this, I'm usually looking 30, 45 days out, right? I want time on my side on a trade, on a position like this that wraps up that much collateral, right? So for here, I want to get, if I'm going to get a sign Apple, I really want to see if I can get as close as possible to our 200 and 300-day moving averages. So I'm going to be looking, let's see, what can we even get at that 230-ish level, right? Nothing really. $139, right? For locking up $23,000, that's not really good. Let's take a look what the RSI is here. Only a 12, about 10% chance of assignment, right? So in this specific scenario, right, you got to see what your high conviction is on this stock, right? But a solid blue chip company, I like 245s. Let's take a look. Premium, collecting about $300 of premium on this one. And you can get all these calculators for yourself, guys, completely for free at the end of the Ark Options Strategy Workshop. Just click that first link in the description of today's video. We're locking up $24,500 here on this one. $24,500, about a 1.22% return in a month. Not really that good in my personal opinion. Got to be a little bit more aggressive. Look at the jump to the 250s, collecting what, probably closer to $430 of premium, right? This at least gets a little bit more exciting, right? Locking up $25,000 and getting closer to that 2% mark, which is usually where I at least like to be when I'm doing the blue chips. If I can't do it, this is my rule of thumb. If I can't get a good strike price, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force myself to do a 245 if I don't like that price. Obviously, I would go look at the charts and see what kind of support we had at 245, and we could see the last times Apple was around that 245 level, we had a nice rally past it. That does obviously past performance is not indicative of future results. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but that was around October that we are at 245. That's not that long ago. It really ain't that long ago, fam. Right? So for me, patience, right? I'm being patient with this. I want to see if we can drop a little bit further. I do think we're going to see a big pullback across the board, across a lot of stocks. So I don't mind sitting on a little bit more dry powder. And I really 25 grand for everybody is a lot of money. I don't care what you say. Locking up a lot of money and a lot of collateral like that on a setup that, even though technically below these averages, still above the 200 and 300, isn't that great in my personal opinion. But I'm watching this one very, very heavily because we have not seen these levels or seen a technical setup, at least on Apple like this, in quite a bit of time. Next one, the channel love child, so to speak. My goodness, this one is super volatile lately. My gosh, the past couple months. Look at this. Look at the bouncing around that this bad boy has done for me. Oh my gosh, right? I'm primarily just focusing on covered calls, but it is tempting me. This bad boy is tempting me so much to get into some more cash here. But now that we are so close to our 200 and 300-day moving average, you guys know I love Arista. I used to work at a high-frequency trading company out of college, not as a trader, just as a network services guy, but being surrounded by all these MIT World Series of Poker champions. My gosh, that kind of got me really into investing and seeing these guys. And, I was deploying a lot of Arista products, and they just were IPOing around that time. And I've always been a big believer in Arista, and still am a huge believer in Arista. I think they are the best, especially low latent products. The high frequency, trading, the market's all run through Arista products. Anytime you execute a trade, your trade is going through Arista gear. But I digress. Either way, setup is it's starting to look irresistible for, I talk about an OSS a lot. Like, I don't want to over leverage myself with Arista, right? As much as I want to, diversification is still so critical to be looking at with this thing, right? So, but my gosh, look at these premiums. I mean, it's tempting, right? So what am I watching here? If I jump into this, I'm gonna make it worth my while. I would like to be below or at the 300-day moving average around 112. I don't know if that's necessarily possible right now. Let's take a look at the 110. See, look at that 110. Look at the jump. Doubled the premium up to the 115s. The 115s aren't bad, right? We're just slightly above the 300-day moving average of 112. I mean, it's not fantastic. Decent return, especially for a stock like this. Fairly wide bid-ask spread, almost $100 of premium, filling around 3 350 we can assume. Let's take a look at the 350 premium, 350 premium collateral. We are locking up $11,500. Man, it's irresistible. It's really getting to me. 3% return on collateral. That delta can't even be that high. Oh, wow, it's a 30. I'm actually shocked that that delta is actually at even a 30. Look how many strikes off. I mean, it's hurting. Arista is hurting here, but I can see it bouncing back. I do believe there might just be some, sell-offs happening right now, profit taking happening. It's normal, right? We are far below our all-time highs of around that 160 level. I'm tempted. I'm very tempted to continue to be jumping into this. I'll be looking something again. If we continue to get hammered here, we're testing that bottom Bollinger Band. We're going to see how we react to that right now. If we drop below, we might be getting back down towards those at least below the 200-day moving average. We're going to see how our support is at that 117 level. If we blow past that, we're going to see what the support is at 300. But at that point, some decisions are going to need to be made. Some big decisions are going to need to be made. Next one, Cisco. Got to watch Cisco too. Cisco and Arista are two of my favorite companies. I have not traded Cisco in quite a bit of time. It has been on a fairly big run for the most part since the mid-October, but now we're kind of slowly coming back down to reality. Right here, this thing isn't, it's a few bucks off. It's around that where it was at around in mid-October on 67. Again, with a Cisco as well, I'm definitely more team Arista in terms of like where I'd want to be, but we haven't seen a dip below a bottom Bollinger Band here as well. We're seeing that across a lot of stocks right now. So this is where a good dry powder is good to be having to deploy. Patience pays for us as option sellers, but still the key moving averages that I'm watching are the 2 and 300s. Now, of course, in the tech sector, we're always going to see these high flyers. Most of them are not going to be dipping below the 2 and 300-day moving averages unless some crazy news, crazy earnings, something bad news happens, right? If we look at a lot of the blue chip, dividend kings and aristocrats, we see kind of the reverse, right? We see a lot of those trading below the 2 and 300-day moving average. If you want to watch some of those are still fantastic setups as well, in my personal opinion. Take out a look at last week's video that I did on Sunday, right? But this week presented this opportunity in a lot of these tech stocks that I really, really like. But I'm not going to rush into them. I want to see what the following weeks bring. Still with a big focus on blue chip stuff or dividend payers. But trade, I want to see if we can get close to it. Right now, Cisco is not going to give us great premiums as like an Arista. No, not a chance. But either way, still a great setup that I'm going to be paying attention to, especially since we have dipped below our 50-day moving average here of 76, and we got to see where we land here. And speaking of kind of the boring dividend payers, Pepsi continues to kind of see this a little bit of a bouncing, right? So I talked about this one last week. If anybody jumped into it, fantastic for you. When we dropped down below to this 137 level, I wanted to see where we were continuing to drop. I was considering jumping into like the 135s, ended up not, but we did see a nice little bounce back up. However, I'm still going to pay attention to it. I want to see how are we going to test 141, the 200-day moving average, still 36 on the RSI, fairly oversold, right? And still, a great dividend paying stock in my personal opinion. We did hit 140 in pre-market. Not that really matters too much for us. So we're going to see what this week brings. I think we're going to see a big pullback across the board in a lot of these great tech stocks, especially in the AI tech stuff. I think there's a lot of profit taking going on, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming, especially in January. I do believe that. So if you've been sitting on that dry powder, I think definitely go and research some stocks for yourself, because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us. Guys, don't forget, head over to the Ark Options Workshop right now. Get yourself registered. Right at the end of that training, you'll get my 2 premium calculators completely for free, as well as my full trade log template at the very end of that training. I also talk about our OSS Mastermind. If you think you're a good fit for that, and if you resonate with me at all, I would love to have you join us. I talk about that also at the end of the Ark Options Strategy Workshop. So click that first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.